Will Kyle Lowry be an All-Star this season? It's been a strange year for Kyle Lowry this year, averaging 16.4 points per game, 6.1 rebounds, 6.8 assists, 39% from three, his second highest of his career actually, and 53.9 effective field goal percentage. Kind of a tongue twister. Riker, watching Kyle Lowry play pretty well every game, does he look like he's having an all-star season? In your opinion?
Oh, I mean, that depends. In my opinion, it depends on what is looked for now in the all-star game, because I think it's a combination of who has the most popularity, who can make the most.
Do you think the coaches will select him, though?
Okay, right off the top, no.
Yeah. No? You don't think so?
No, I don't think Kyle Lowry will be selected as an all-star.
After looking at the numbers and the different players going against him, I think there's a good chance that Kyle Lowry will make this team. So let's just get right into it. Kyle Lowry, I named his stats at the beginning of the season. He's had to take a lessened role with the new Raptors offense, the new offense Dwayne Casey implemented, trying to get more team-oriented basketball, and that's really taken effect on Lowry's numbers. And he's had a couple injuries here and there. Yeah. But I genuinely think that there isn't many, especially with all the players gone out west this season,
that the competition.
Kyle Lowry is a good shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So you're talking more about player comparisons, that he doesn't necessarily merit what it takes to be an all-star, but you think that, if for lack of a better expression, best of the worst.
Well, I think Kyle Lowry's numbers don't replicate an all-star season, but the way he impacts the Toronto Raptors, I believe the coaches will see that, because he is still. DeMar's really taken up the mantle as our leader and our best player, but Kyle Lowry arguably is our most important, just because we go as he goes. He's our bulldog, our engine, and he's
definitely our most important player, right? We know that as Raptors fans, and I think also if you are watching enough Raptors games this season to actually speak for Lowry's game, besides just looking at the box score, you'll see that his impact on the court is arguably better this season than last season, because he's able to play with leadership and then flow through the entire team, right? Last year when he had, like you said, the height and roll, then if he was having an off game, then that's it, right? Then it was
we were done.
Exactly, right? So this season he's like you said, stepped down, but that stepped up his leadership. So I think he's playing better, right? But the All-Stars are selected by the coaches around the league, and we've already talked about how the Raptors don't get respect, right? They're not seen. So I think
that's a different thing for the coaches in the league, though, because they have a bit closer look. They're more into the league than maybe the media or the fans would be.
All right, so let's just talk about first then, before we get into a true debate whether or not, because you think Lowry will be an All-Star. I'm not convinced. Who are the players that he's, I guess, competing against for spots on the All-Star team?
Yeah, so as of recording, the starters have been announced.
Yep. And
so we're looking through 7 more spots that Kyle Lowry could potentially fill. I believe 2 of those spots are locked up by Victor Oladipo and Kristaps Porzingis. I don't think you'd argue with me there.
Nope.
They've both been having great seasons. Just very... They're going to be all-stars, 2 of those players. But then we have about 5 spots of players that I wouldn't necessarily call locks.
Okay.
So I'll start off with our semi-rivals, the Washington Wizards.
Right.
Bradley Beal and John Wall.
Okay. I think
two of those players have kind of better numbers than Lowry.
Yep.
But the team hasn't been performing.
True. Well,
yes.
I mean, they're not like decades behind us, or leagues behind us. They're 6th seed right now as we speak.
But do you think their team warrants 2 All-Stars?
Oh, certainly not 2. I don't think that Bradley Beal will be an All-Star, and that's
okay. But Bradley Beal is averaging 23.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.7 assists.
Okay,
so that's some high scoring totals.
So he's elevated.
And John Wall is 19.5 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 9.3 assists.
I think John Wall will be an All-Star just because he's a flashier player than Lowry. If we just did like a side-by-side with John Wall and Kyle Lowry, I mean, you do have to tailor the team to the fans, right? Because that's what the All-Star game is all about, right? John Wall can dunk, Kyle Lowry can't. I mean, just on that premise
John
alone.
Wall's missed a few games this season, though. He has been injured, and the coaches do look at these things.
Okay, no, that's true. That's fair. But I can agree. I don't think they'll get 2 All-Stars.
Okay, so we both agree that likely one spot is going to be filled by one of those guys because they're both having decent seasons, even though the Wizards have underperformed to everyone's expectations.
Yep.
Maybe not ours, but whatever.
Yep.
So then you have the Detroit Pistons players, Tobias Harris, Andre Drummond. They're definitely not getting 2.
Harris won't, for sure. I mean, I don't care about the stats at all. I mean, the Pistons aren't an impressive team this season. They started well, right? But
yeah,
I've watched a couple of Pistons games.
Definitely a playoff team, in my opinion.
They're a playoff team. I mean, they'll give whoever they face a pretty good matchup, right? I think.
Yeah. So you'd say Andre Drummond would fill a spot for that roster?
I could see Drummond being an All-Star if they select a Pistons All-Star. However, the emphasis in the league...
Do you think it's guaranteed over Lowry?
No, I don't. I think the emphasis in the league this season especially is small ball, right? We've seen that last season in the All-Star game as well. There wasn't as many big men, right?
Yeah.
I think that. Yeah. So I think that because he's not he doesn't have as much mobility. I think that he might be overlooked if it comes down to a couple of players. So we'll put him on the back.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Then you got guys on some of the top 3 teams in the East: Al Horford and Kevin Love. Al Horford's numbers aren't very eye-popping, but the Celtics are the first seed in the East. He's only averaging 13.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, 5.3 assists.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Al Horford might get in, even though the numbers aren't there. But I think he'll get in the same way Lowry will get in, just because his team has been playing so good and his impact on the game.
Okay, it's possible. I think that's probably the Warriors' effect as well. I mean, Draymond Green will probably be an All-Star, but if you look at his stats, he's not.
Well, he'll definitely be an All-Star.
He'll definitely be an All-Star, but I mean, they had a really good debate on this on Inside the NBA. Like, if he was on any other team, would he still be an All-Star? And they're like, well,
that's fair.
We don't know, but
it's a fair argument.
It is a fair, yeah. But anyways, okay, Horford, probably not Love. I could see Horford being an All-Star though, like you said.
Yeah, Love is 19 points, 9.5 rebounds, but with the Cavs struggles, everything going on that team, do you think we're putting Lowry in competition with Andre Drummond, Kevin Love, and then the only other 2 players I can really look at right now is Hassan Whiteside and Goran Dragic from the Miami Heat, but likely 2 of those guys won't get a spot.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I mean, they're the same thing. It comes down to, and I don't know exactly what the criteria is when the coaches select the roster, but I mean, I think that the Heat shouldn't be overlooked this season, right? Right now they're 4th seed.
The Heat have been very good.
5th seed. They're up there.
They're creeping closer to LeBron.
And they've been playing really well. And Dragic's been playing probably his best season of his career. Whiteside's been playing really good the past 3 seasons. I think one of them probably should
Dragic was really good in Phoenix one season.
Yeah, but he's
an All-NBA player.
But this is his team now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think one of them deserves to be an All-Star. But I think you're right. They might get overlooked. Do you think... yeah, go ahead.
So Dragic's numbers aren't that much better than Kyle Lowry's. He's averaging about a point more, 17.3 points, 4.2 rebounds, 4.9 assists. Lowry does everything else better besides scoring in the statistical categories.
Right.
His team's better.
Yeah.
I think Lowry gets the edge over Dragic. And Hassan Whiteside, that guy's losing minutes to Bam Adebayo. And we saw it when we played the Heat. He has some decent numbers, like 14.6 points, 11.7 rebounds, but I don't see these guys getting in over Kyle Lowry. That's why when we were going into it, as we did our research, we kind of both saw Lowry's numbers and were a bit, probably not. But when you look at the other players, there's only 2 or 3 guys, besides Oladipo and Porzingis, that we can definitively say they deserve it more than Lowry.
I think they're on lock, yeah.
Yeah, so I personally look at the competition, Lowry's numbers, and the Toronto Raptors' team success. I believe Lowry has a really good shot at making this All-Star team.
And how many times has he been an All-Star in the past? Would this be his 3rd
3-time All-Star.
He's already been an All-Star 3 times?
Yep.
So you would hope then he would have the edge over really anybody, I guess most importantly like a Whiteside or a Dragic who haven't been All-Stars yet, right? You hope that would play into effect as well, that he already has the credibility as an All-Star.
Yep.
Do you think that there's a possibility I'm just looking through the.
Yeah, we're looking at teams, and there's not many players. That's the thing. You can look at Charlotte Hornets guys, but Kemba Walker's not going to get it over Lowry.
No.
The Hornets have been abysmal.
Yeah, they've been
an
awful season.
Yeah, I know Charles Barkley threw out Dwight Howard. I don't think that's.
I mean, no, statistically, he has had a really good season.
But the Hornets have been so bad.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't think Ben Simmons. Actually, you know what? Ben Simmons randomly might be an All-Star this season. Like you said, it's a weak pool to choose from.
Mm-hmm. Ben Simmons has been good, but I don't think he's earned that respect yet amongst the league.
True enough.
But he's definitely had some numbers. And he started off very hot, but he cooled off as of late.
I mean, we have.
I don't
know. Chicago, not really anybody. They have a young team. Brooklyn, pretty young team as well. Atlanta, I think Schroeder could be an All-Star maybe. But such a horrible record. Yeah. Orlando, same thing. Terrible record. Yeah, I guess looking at it, you're probably right. I would be surprised in comparing Lowry to all these players that are, probably on the list for All-Star selection. I'd be surprised if he wasn't selected over some of them. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to revise my statement.
When you look at it from afar, it's like, whoa, Wilcott, he's had a down year, but in today's Eastern Conference, it looks like he's an all-star in this league. So, all right. I don't know. We'll see when the NBA comes out to
before you finish it off.
Yep.
Do you think Isaiah Thomas will be an all-star?
No. The man's played about 3 games. And the Cavs have been atrocious when he's played.
He's had more than 3 games. And also, I mean, he had mad respect last year.
No, he won't be an all-star. That's
No? You don't think he'll get the nod?
No, not a chance.
All right. All right. We'll see. I hope you don't bite your words.
No, that's not going to happen. But anyways, let us know what you guys think. Will Kyle Lowry be an all-star? Looking at the rest of the NBA, the Eastern Conference, we believe he will be. Mm-hmm. Maybe you guys have a different opinion. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Cheers.